Richard here, the Lifestyle Salon Coach. And the one thing that we know more than anything is we have uncertainty of what's moving forward from April to whenever we decide what's going to happen through our crisis. What I've been working heavily on with my clients is how to conquer the crisis and beyond. And I want to share with you today what I believe is happening and what we should be spending our time with to make the best of what we've got. Let me dive on. We know one thing for certain right now is we know that there's uncertainty out there. We are April 2020. And the one thing that we do know is that given a time frame of, let's say, 2 years from now, which will be April 2022, that's going to happen. Whatever we go from here to there, 2 years will pass. The question is what will happen in these next 2 years. Now, I want to put a bit of a timeline in, and I don't know when this timeline is going to be, but I'm going to call this timeline survival. And that's when we get to open our salons again, back to some sort of normality. I don't know whether that's going to be 6 months, 3 months, 12 months, or 18 months. But what we do know is there will become a time when this will be forgotten and we will move forward. Now, the one thing that I do know as we work through here is that we're not going to be in the same place as we are today. Let me just explain what I mean by that. Let me lower this down to a smaller version. Some of you right now are freezing. You're in panic mode. You don't know what to do. You're sitting there and time is just passing by. So we're going to call this panic, really, because what you're doing is nothing. And there's many salon owners at the moment don't know what to do, haven't got a clue how to spend their time, but there's only one way for them to go. You know, there's clients being turned away or they've closed their salon down. They don't know if staff are going to return. And right now they're just doing nothing because they're in freeze mode. They can't think straight. There's too much going on in their brain. The next thing we do know is we've got salon owners that are doing something. So what they're doing is they're doing what everyone else does. Actually, let me just put a nice orange one on here. What they're doing through here is they're going to be going through the wiggles, and they will survive. They'll pass the survival, just like most people do. And what they're doing is they're just bunkering down. They're just going to ride it out. These are the people that are they're buying all the pasta, they're buying all the loo roll, and they're just, indirectly, you're probably one of them where you're just getting by. You're going to, right, I'm just going to hibernate now until it's all over and done with. Then I can open my salon and I'm going to carry on regardless. Now, the one thing we do know about these particular people is there's a good chance they're probably going to be exactly where they are now in 2 years' time, which is really where you shouldn't be, because things are never going to be the same again. If you've got this far and you've been winging it to get to this stage, or you've not had enough profit or cash flow to last you 3 months to get through this, and you'll thank heavens that the government's going to give you some money, then we don't want you to be in the same position in 2 years' time, because all you've done is wasted time, and we don't want that at all. What we want you to do is, when this is all over and done with, you've learned something to move forward. Now, some salon owners are going to do this, and they're going to be up here in 2 years' time. They're going to have extended their growth. They're going to grow through this and come out stronger than when they went in. They've learned their lessons of where they should be. These people here, as they've gone through this section into this, we're going to call this thrive. And some salon owners will make it to that stage. I'm afraid if you've noticed down here, there is no one down the bottom, because I think some salon owners are not going to recover from this at all. Now, the one thing we do know is around here, to hit that survival mode, we are going to hit something that's really different, you've never seen before. We're going to get a huge rush, and that rush will be for clients and for staff. Can you imagine if the government say that all salons can open as from tomorrow? Every single salon is going to advertise. Every single salon is going to try and get the staff back. Every single salon is going to try and get clients, theirs and others, into their salon as fast as possible, and to try and make the money back up as quick as possible. Some of them have bigger pockets than you. Some of them have more foundations than you. We want you to give you the best ever. So what we need to do is two things, and I'm going to go through them with you right now. I want to build you I want to build you a foundation here. We're going to call this a foundation. And this really is what you should be doing now while the salon's closed or while you're not on full speed ahead. So what is it you should be working on right now? What foundation should you be building on? And then once we've passed that, I want to teach you how to build the true foundations afterwards. Is how do you make your salon successful? Because some salons, as we know, are going to do very well to get to this level. Now, right now, the one thing that's not different between any other salons out there is here. Every salon right now is in exactly the same starting point as you. There's no difference. This is just a mindset of when you're ready. If you do nothing and you do nothing until they open the salon, there's a good chance that you're going to struggle heaps to get your clients and staff back through the door again, never mind making profit past this stage. If you do something and bunker down and maybe cancel some of your bills and stop your spending and you just continue what you're doing before now, you're going to end up just plodding along. But eventually that line's going to dip. And the last thing we want is for you to be in this situation ever again if anything like this ever happens. What we want is strength. We get the first time ever to actually press the reset button and grow our businesses so we have true cash flow, true money, and a true lifestyle. And we want to do this before the gold rush happens, before people start rushing and advertising. We want you to have a foundation strong, so we'll call it Foundation A. And then after that, we can work on Foundation B. Foundation B is what I do already with my group. I have a coaching course that I build foundation salon owners to get that far. And I'm not here to talk about that today. What I'm here to talk about today is Foundation A. What are we supposed to be doing now in the crisis? What are we supposed to do to move forward? Let me just dive in and show you through here. This is what I think we need to do. We need to work on 3-prong attack right now. The old way is never going to work. We need to find a new way. I want you to work on, first of all, how to pivot, how to change your message, how to change your delivery, and how to change your promise to everybody. This is not about your clients. This is about what you're telling the world. I want you to protect you, protect your clients, protect your staff. These are people that know you. And I want to protect your profit. This is money. This is cash flow. The expenses in your business, the investments you should be making right now, and the promotions you should be planning for. Let's talk about pivot. Let's talk about the message. The message that you should be putting out to the world now is the message that you want to hear yourself. You want someone to hug you and say to you, things are going to be okay. Things are fine. We've organized money to come through the till. We've organized clients to come back. We've organized for everything to get back to the status quo as quick as possible. That's what you want to happen. What your clients want to happen is the same. They're going to have hair that's grown long, facials, beauty, regardless of what normally they usually have. They just don't want to miss out on that. Just help them, coach them, and find some practical advice that we should be sending people out to the world. I truly believe that most people are like traffic lights. And I've said this many times. We have green, we have amber, and we have red. And what that means to me is quite simple. Is that when somebody wants to come into your salon, a brand new client doesn't know who you are, they're about 3% of the population. These people, what they'll tend to do is they'll tend to move for a discount, or they'll tend to come to you really as just a quick walk-in. The ambers are 67%. These are the top quality, good paying clients. What happens to them is quite simple. They sit and they watch, and they sit and they watch, and then they make the move when they realize they want to do business with someone they like. The 30% at the top, these are what we call red. These are your die-hard fans that will never go anywhere else, and other people's die-hard fans that won't go anywhere else. What we want to do is send a message to these people, the 67%, and they're looking now. So we want to make sure we can guide them. They may not be your client yet. We want to talk to them, ready for when the doors open again. They'll know you exist. Let's help them. People looking to consume information at the moment, so let's give them some. Teach them, help them, coach them. We need to make the move from why, what to how. They don't want before and afters. They want to know how you did it and how they can look after it and how they can recreate it themselves at home while we're in lockdown. That's what they want to know. So offer some videos, offer some handouts, offer some help. We can't do consultations anymore in the salon, so let's do it. Move on to delivery. We move from face-to-face to virtual. Find a way how you can do that. Facebook Lives, Zoom. That connection still needs to be there. Online consultations. Yeah, do a consultation, give them a consultation card, email that afterwards, make them feel like they're still moving forward about what they can do at home and what they can do when they want their aspirations. Free consults, the supermarket equivalent. I mean, that's a controversy, but let's just leave that one as it is for now. I'm not here to discuss that today. Email, text, messenger. How can you talk to these people you don't know? Can you collect the email and talk to them for the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks? Can you build a group of Facebook of people in the area or WhatsApp? And your promise needs to be different. Moving away from proving to them that your salon can fix their problems to letting them know it's a safe place, that you agree with them. So if you've closed early for your reasons, tell people why. If you stayed open for reasons, tell them why. Letting them know that you're following all advice, watching their movements, and helping others in the community. They need to know this. They need to know that they're in a safe environment. Your promise needs to change. It's time to show people who you really are. They want to know the personality behind the brand now. Now's the time for you to stand up. Let your core message, your core story stand out. The message is not about the work, but about the people behind it. So if you're going to show some work or your staff off, they want to start seeing that. That's what we do right now. The promise is we're good, we're safe, we'll look after you. That's what we call pivot. If you start planning that now, that's what you need to do. Let me just dive into a little bit of a coaching session through pivot. So what we know is the pain stack is how we get clients through the door. You know, we talk about how bad their hair is, how dry their hair is, how frizzy their hair is. That's a pain point. So that's what we call a frustration. If you want to get clients to come into your salon, you talk via frustration, quite simply. If you can make it, what's their deepest fear? So if you can build a Facebook ad about their frustrations and fears, people come to you. It won't work now. That was the old way. What we want now is what do they want and what's their aspirations? So this is what we need to be talking. This needs to be our message. And all that is a flip. So if you imagine you were talking about, you know, are you tired of your frizzy hair? Now we want to go, well, they don't want frizzy hair. They want silky, soft, bouncy curls. Talk in the positive, not the negative. So all your posts needs to be a positive aspirations. Your hair will look good. We will try some coconut oil. We will do whatever it takes, but it needs to be a plus, not a, we're going to do your frizzy hair. Look at your grey roots. No, hey, let's make sure them grey roots don't show through. And we talk positive as opposed to a negative. And that's the message right now. With that, we choose one of the 4 forces is your hook. That's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about exactly the positive. So we're talking a positive, quite simple. So the positive is why we're doing this. You'll have a nice image here of this. Obviously has to be someone happy. We want a happy person. And if you want to send them to your blog, or if you want to give them the result they want or the call to action you want to do, fill it in. That's what we call a social media promo builder. It looks a bit like this. So the 4 forces. How do you do your hair and hair color at home? See, give them some advice. At Name of Salon, we truly care about our clients, and we know that life throws at you. If you feel good, then you can take the world. Hence, these unprecedented times, we have devised a plan of how you can keep looking your best. Click here for details, and they'll go to your website, or they'll go to a bigger section. That's what we want to build with a social media post right now, a positive vibe as opposed to a negative vibe. The one thing I've done with my clients is we've built a Facebook content planner, a 30-day planner, which I want to go through with you right now. So let's just say, for example, these are weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of the week. Connection. Make a connection with these people. How can they connect with you? What have you got in common? Well, we're all in lockdown, or we're all homeschooling, whatever it is a connection. And a character. This is all about you and your team. You know, start talking about maybe when you sat at your salon, how long has it been open, what you do, what you're going to do when you open it, are you going to decorate it, etc. Then give them some advice. Help them. Educate them on anything. How to hide grey with a zigzag pattern, how to wear a ponytail, how to get your kids' hair, whatever it is, help them. And then a conversion. We want to keep connecting with these people. So how do we get them on your mailing list? How do we get them to follow your Facebook page? How do we get them to go into your group? How do we get to converse? We want to make sure they stay with you. And then creation. Talk about what's going to happen when you open. Talk about what's going to happen when you come back. Talk about what you're learning or what you're doing right now to make it better for when they come back. And it's quite simple. 5 posts a week, 4 weeks a month. You've got a whole month's plan. That's pivot. The next one was protect. Nice and simple. I need to protect you. I need to protect your clients. I need to protect your staff. So let's talk about you. When I became a business coach, the one thing I missed more than anything was structure. I missed my 9 o'clock client, my 10:30 client. We're used to working as an appointment in a book. We don't have that anymore. So we want to protect you. So you need to build yourself maybe a default diary right now to make sure they're locked in that you must do regardless. Read some business books, read what's going on, keep moving forward, learn something new, do an online course, plan all your marketing, plan your targets for your team, invest in you. Now, I truly believe right now at the moment, looking after yourself, every salon, I'm going to not go every salon, 95% of salons that I know and I see don't make great money. And 5% make absolutely fantastic money. And there's a right grey area somewhere in the middle between the 95% down to zero. And usually it's because they've got something missing, or they're losing clients, or they're not charging enough, or something's going on in that business. Right now, you should be looking at your business and every single number for the last 2 years and find out where you are. Why have you not got 3 months' money in the bank? Then you now know something. And then move forward. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. Move forward. Go and find a way of learning how to fix this thing. Clients. You could pre-book all clients for the year ahead if you need to. Talk to them every week. You're going to have to, we call it a spear, by the way. This here called a spear. It's a short, personable, expecting a response email, message. We expect them to come back with us with something. And that's what we're going to do. Offer them help, weekly get-together, Zoom calls, call your top 50 clients to check in. The difference here, guys, that no one's ever talking about, which I want to explain, is don't ask them, how are you doing? Don't ask them, can I help you? Don't ask them, oh, is your color getting too long? We know stuff. We know that Mary comes to us every 4 weeks to have a facial. So at week 3, contact her and say, hey, Mary, I'm thinking about you. I know you're normally due in next week. How can I help you? Here's my thought, what I can do, blah, 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 blah. Get in before she even thinks about it. That way you're beating her, which means she now thinks you come to her out of pure goodness. Don't let her reach out to you. Quite simple. I'm going to talk about something about protect, about one thing I'm going to talk about, which will never happen again, but I'm going to mention it in a second. The client journey. We're going to come to that in a second. And staff. Talk weekly and check in with them. See if they want to do voluntary work for you. I know over here, we furlough people. They say they can't work, but ask them. Okay, marketing, planning, building procedures, and group meeting with the salons. But the question here that makes it different. Don't give staff jobs to do and don't give staff work to do. That's not what we want. Staff need to think about this big picture, the dream. So get them excited about what's going to happen when you open. Talk about what's going to happen, the aspirations of when we open, we're going to do this. We're going to paint the salon. We're going to do, make them feel like it's going to be exciting. As a business coach, my job is to scour all the Facebook groups all over the place to find out what the vibe is. And the vibe I'm getting at the moment is a lot of staff are not going to come back to work after this. There's a disconnection right now with you and them. They haven't got the camaraderie that they had before. They've got no ties to you. If this lasts another 2 months, there's going to be like literally, you're going to be less tied to them than the household and their children and what they're doing at home, and they won't want to come back. A lot of people are thinking about a second career. A lot of people think about using this time to do an online course, non-hair or beauty, to do something completely different and start afresh. So if we don't keep them motivated and excited, which means that we might have to encourage them. We might talk about the client journey. We might talk about the client systems. We might talk about everything in the business, even marketing, and get them involved. If you've got staff that are doing apprentices and doing training, go and find some good videos out there and get them to watch the video and then talk you through it section by section. Make it feel like they're doing stuff. Don't tell them to do stuff. There's a whole difference in the attitude right there. It's the same as the clients. Don't ask them what they want. Get there. You know what they want. You've been doing their hair for long enough. It's in your computer system. Go in there and get all your color clients with gray and help them now how to beat that. The people who've got short hair, ask them what to do as their hair grows long. Start looking at your clients and beat them before they come to you. You've got to, this is your assets. We call this an IP. This is your property right now. This is where all your money is. Everything else you can forget. Anyone out here at the moment is just trying to make money with retail or doing services in the salon. That's just to survive and survive alone. What we're really talking about here is to lay the foundation so these people stay connected with you, ready for when you open. And then we can talk about a different foundation. Protect your livelihood. This is it. You, your clients, and your staff, it's all about that. Next, I want to talk about the section through here. We'll call it profit. Expenses, investments, and promotions. So first of all, let's talk about expenses. Dead basic. Get yourself your last 2, 3, 4, 5 months of your bank statements. Get yourself a pink pen, a yellow pen, and mark them all off. Pink mean we can dump, yellow I need to keep. And what's the difference? Quite simple. You get rid of everything that you don't need right now. Magazines, things like that, not going to happen. I don't mean just for the short term. Let's start thinking for the long term. I've been doing this now for the last 2 or 3 months. I've been thinking about things, how can I condense and get rid of? But the difference, it'll come to you. First of all, check all bank statements, cancel subscriptions that you don't use, or you can I mean, I've had Google, I've had Apple, iCloud, and I've had Dropbox, 3 things all doing the same thing. Start thinking ahead. When time and the money's okay, we just spend. Time to pull ourselves in. There's a great book called Profit First. If you haven't seen it, by Mike Malkovich, go and buy it. It's a great book. I've been using that for the last 3 years. It changed my world. Profit First by Michael Malkovich. I think that's his name. Yeah, Michael Malkovich. Look for cheap alternatives. Look for staffing. Are you staffing at 80% yet? If they're not, why are they not? If they're not 80%, can you lose one? Get rid of dead wood. Who have you been dragging along, pulling up the hill, chain after chain, trying to get them to do some clients, and they're just not performing? Is it time to let them go? You know, you're a leader. Let's start to lead. Look at your wage percentages. How busy is your salon? Don't rely on a computer system and that's it. Start working out your own maths. How many clients do they do a day? How many can you do a day? You know your appointment book by now. That's your expenses. Investments. I said earlier on, the time right now, you should be analyzing your business to find out where the holes are. You should be analyzing your business to find out what is gone wrong. Why have you not got much money? Is it staffing? Is it your client journey? Is it you haven't got enough clients? Is it the fact that you're losing clients? Do you have to build a keep in touch strategy? What is it you need to work on? And that right now is where you spend your money. That is not where you cut. Learning to grow your business is not where you cut right now. That's where you invest. You have the time to do this. And that's where you should spend your time, effort, and money, is invested in that. So for example, let's say you're in the Titanic, it's gone down, you're in a rowing boat, and you can see the island. It's like, you've got to get to the island. What will make that boat grow faster? Yep. There's no point spending stuff just because you like it, or let's learn more balayage stuff if you want to do that. Let's only work on one thing. What will make this boat go faster? And then we can start diversifying after that. But right now, it's time to keep the blinkers on. Invest in yourself, invest in your salon. If you are poor in color, invest in color with your team. If you're poor in business, invest in business. This is the time that you have. The one thing most salon owners tell me they don't have right now is time. You've got it. Let's use it wisely. And promotions, think about this. Think about your staff training, think about your rebook promos, think about your welcome back promo, plan your year comeback. I'm just going to mention 2 things. First of all, about me and other people I've spoken to. Most people like me, I've not been out spending money for 2 weeks now. When I do get released, I'm going to go and spend some money. Discounts is not the time for discounts right now. People are going to choose you because of what you're doing now. We've talked about it with your message when you're pivoting. That's what they're going to choose you on, not on discounting. But think about what people really want. They've been locked up for 2, 3, 4 weeks, maybe 2, 3, 4 months by the time they get back to the salon. What do they really want? Let me tell you what I think they want. They want pampering. They want experience. They want luxury. They want to spend their money. They don't want a quick in and out. So start thinking of some sexy names to build your promo. You know, start building it up. You know, what can you mash together to get more money off these people by giving them more love and a better experience and get them used to spending again? Promotions should be ready to go. If the government turned around tomorrow over here in the UK, and if over you guys in Australia, and they said, right, we're opening back to normal on Monday, how many of you are going to open your doors and be normal? What about the salon down the road who says, right, we have got this pamper package all ready to go. It's an hour and a half pampering package in a beauty salon for X amount of money, or a complete color transformation because we know you'll need it. I mean, let's imagine, I've been a hairdresser all my life. Anyone that goes 2, 3 months without a color is a color collection. You're going to put one color on the roots, one color on the ends, condition treatment. They'll need the works. Let's offer them the works. I just want to pull that back for 2 seconds. So what I've been trying to explain to you right now is this section through here. So we've been talking about foundation A. You need to do something. And the ones who plan the foundation now, which means they're making, foundations with their staff, foundations with their clients. And when we get to that survival mode, when we've still got salon at the end of all this, then we can open our doors and then we can start working on other parts of the foundation of our business growth. But right now, we need 2 foundations. One, we're building a foundation to survive. And then we need to build a foundation to thrive. Guys, I hope you love this little training. It was something that's been in my head for a while that I wanted to get out. Part of this I'm using with my own private clients to get them Foundation A built. We're building that as we speak right now and going deep with templates for them and everything else. And Foundation B, we've already had in place for the last 2 or 3 years with our lifestyle salon programs. Guys, I hope you love this training. Whatever you do, keep safe, keep well. And this will end soon. It will end. We just don't know when soon it's going to be 3, 6, 12, or 18 months, but it will end. There is life after this. And most of you guys, if you've been in the salon life for a while, you'll realize that we've had recessions as such, because there's going to be a recession after this as well. We know that. Someone's going to have to pay all this money back. But we're going to know as, in our eyes, we've got to keep focused. Remember, focus, focus, focus. Focus on survive. What do I need to do now? You can't do nothing and you can't hibernate. You have to act. What do I need to learn? What do I need to do, Richard? After that, what do I need to do to grow my business to the next level? Guys, keep well. See you all soon.